All right, Smith Valley, it's week 6. We're doing track 3. This is our friendly duet in C minor or E flat major. What's going to happen this week is we're going to pull together everything that we've done the last few weeks in Soundtrap and in Noteflight and put it into one song. We're going to do it with this little pre-built chord structure that I have here on this song. So this is your first part of the assignment. There's a bunch of instructions here. I'm going to go over these in this video. Okay, so make sure you really watch the video to its fullest, all the way to the end, to understand what's happening. All right, so first things first, you're watching the video. You're going to open up 2 of the songs that we've done already. Okay, so let's go ahead and get those pointed out here. So first, we're going to pull up our singable melody that we made. This is from week 4 that we did our melody. Okay. Single melody, that should actually be, let's change that to week 4. So that should be correct in theirs. All right, those single melody. So this is the one that we pulled in. Now I've done a little bit more from this. If you just have one part, you just have treble clef or bass clef staff, that's fine. Okay, just one melody is all you really need, but we can add more in this next piece. Okay, but at minimum, you've got your basic melody. And then you also want to pull up your Bach's little fugue, the thing we did last week, week 5, learning to hear harmony, okay? And again, on this one, you should actually have 2 things here. I'm recording this video kind of early, so I don't have the half notes and whole notes and things here, but whatever melody, harmony you've got here, if you want to use that, you can. You don't have to import that in, but we're going to use this, a portion of this actual melody from Bach's little fugue into that, okay? So here's what's really cool. This chord structure here that I have pre-built in has a lot of structure to it that's going to help you with importing this into Soundtrap. We're actually going to add this into our making my own beat that we did several weeks ago in Soundtrap, little drum loop thing. So we're going to put all that together. How does that work? Well, let me go over this page first, okay? On the friendly duet in Noteflight, a couple things that you can notice. I'm going to go up to parts here, and I'm just going to hide for now the treble and bass clef parts. So I just want to point out what's happening in the piano part. You've got a 4-measure intro, just like we have on our drum track, 4-measure intro. So this is what I built on my making my own beat. You have your 4-measure intro, 8-measure first verse, 16-measure second verse or chorus, whatever you want to call it, and then a 4-measure outro, 4-measure ending. I added some more drum stuff underneath here, but that's our structure. In the friendly duet, the way I've got this set up is under my view menu. I've got this set as a flow view. Now, if you want to change it back to page view, that's fine. You're just going to be switching through a lot of pages. So here's our chord structure. We have our 4-measure intro, section 1. This is our first verse, 8 measures. Then I split up the next section that was on our drum loop, that one 16-measure bit. This is in section 2 and section 3. And there's a reason for that I'll get to in a second. And then here is our final section of 4. So I've got this divided with these double bar lines here. Double bar lines are great for dividing sections. And then you have your final bar line at the end. What I have written underneath here is actually the chords. Now, you don't have to edit any of this. You don't even have to worry about what this means. But just so you understand for later on, your 4-measure intro is built on a C minor chord, okay? And the lowercase means minor, uppercase means major. Major is more of a happier chord, okay? What does that sound like? Well, here's a major chord. Actually, sorry, let me get to that. Okay, major chord, minor chord, also a minor chord. So, and actually these 2 chords are the same chord, just voiced differently. Don't worry about that. So minor chords, major chords, and this is a little chord progression. Goes through C minor, E flat major with a B flat on the bottom. That's what that means. That means there's a B flat as the root of the chord versus just an E flat, which would normally be the root. So C minor, E flat major with a B flat on the bottom, B flat major, A flat major. And that repeats. So that's kind of a 4-measure loop of chords until we get to section 3. Section 3 is altered slightly. We have a G minor, B flat major with F on the bottom, F major, E flat major, G minor, and then we go to F major. So it's not a 4-measure loop, it's an 8-measure progression, and then E flat, B flat, and that builds us back into the original chords that we have done throughout the song. So the only places that are different, so we have our 4-measure loop throughout the song is that 4-measure chord loop. So if you go put this into Soundtrap and you want to add some things into it, just knowing that every measure the chord is changing, okay? With the exception of the beginning, where you have 2 C's in a row, and in the section 3, the second half of this part right here. So when you've built your thing, the second half of this portion is going to be where G starts. So if you want to add some loops that require chords, that's your knowledge. All right, let's move on. So those are the chord structures. What do we do with it? Well, I'm going to go back to my parts and I'm going to show these again. I want to see all the parts that I'm going to be working with. What we want to do is starting in section 1, so not in the intro, in section 1, we want to paste in a song that's going to fit this. So you have 2 different choices. You've got your singable melody that we're going to paste in. Okay, again, you can just do one little bit. Notice it's 8 measures long. Okay, so I just clicked this first piece here and highlight it over. Now, this currently is in the key of C major. I'm not sure if that's going to fit very well. I'm going to copy those 8 measures, go back to my friendly neighborhood Duet, and I'm going to just see what it sounds like. I'm going to paste, I'm going to select, there we go, 2, 3, 4. And actually, you know what? Since I'm just doing 1 staff, I have 1 staff here. Okay, if I had highlighted 2, that's 2. I don't want 2, just 1. I've highlighted 1 staff and copied it. Control C, Command C. If I just click on this first, click out of there. If I click on that first measure, measure 5, and just do Command V or paste, it'll just fit it right in. Now you notice all these little accidentals popped up, all these natural signs, because those are not part of this key signature. I need to get my melody to be fit with this key signature. So there's 2 ways you can do it. Okay, if you want your song to have a little bit of a minor feel to it, this is a C minor song. Okay, C minor. Lots of these lowercase c's. There's also a lot of E flats in here because C minor and E flat major are kind of related. So if you want your song to sound kind of happy or upbeat a little bit, like this is an upbeat song. Not fast, but in terms of mood, it's a happier mood. If I want this to be a happy mood, I'll keep it in this key, but I need to change something to make it fit, okay? I need to make this key signature look like this one. 3 flats, there's no flats here. So I'm gonna do a couple things. So if I want this to sound happy, I'm going to do Control All, okay? Select everything. You go up to my edit menu, make sure I'm in edit mode, and I want to change the key signature of this song to E flat, okay? 3 flats. Well, how do I do that? If you want things to stay happy, major, I want to keep my song here sounding like a happy song. I don't want to change the key. I want to transpose, okay? So here's the transpose button. Here's the key signature button. Transpose is under the pitch menu. Key is under the measure menu. I'm going to write all this up so you guys have this as a step-by-step, but transpose is what I'm going to try. I want to keep this thing happy. So I'm going to transpose. Now, knowing what I need to know about intervals, there's a few things you can do. Okay, I'm going to move all this up, and I want to move it up by a minor third. Trust me, I'm going to click 3, minor third. Okay, and I'm going to make sure key signature is on. The magic of that is that this is C major. I want to get it into E flat major. I want to get this song from the key of C major into the key of E flat major. So I need to transpose to turn my key signature up. So I'm going to raise everything by minor third. And there I am. I've got 3 flats. Okay, I'm going to make sure that the relationship between the notes hasn't changed. I haven't changed any intervals. I haven't changed the melody. I've simply just changed the key signature. The song still has kind of a happy quality. Okay, and that's the one that I wrote. Whatever you use is fine. So if it was in that same key and you want to make it happy, transpose up a minor third. okay, to get to this. And then I can simply take this song, 8 measures, copy, click on that right there, and I don't have any accidentals that show up. This should fit pretty well. So I'm going to click in this measure 5. I want to see what this sounds like with this C minor chord and my E flat major song. Does this fit? It does. Now, I noticed something. Did you notice you couldn't hear it? Okay, that's a setting that you have to watch out when you copy things in. Sometimes this happens. So I'm going to open up my mixer menu. Notice that treble and bass are turned off on the sound cue, so you can't hear it. So under mixer, you can change your parts. So make sure tracks, all those are selected as well. Perfect. Hopefully when I get this sent to you, you can also play all. You can change the volume of individual tracks. Okay, you can get it all your stuff set up. You can even turn on the metronome if you want. So here we go. Okay, kind of cool. So that actually kind of fits. It's got a happy quality to it. It's the chords underneath there have this darkness to them, which is kind of interesting sometimes. Minor songs in the minor key can have an interesting quality to them. When you add a major melody on top of it, it gives it kind of a little bit of a happiness or a hope or a different mood. Now, if I want to do the opposite, if I want to keep it a minor key, okay, I'm going to undo real quick here. It's actually, since that's set up, okay, I don't actually need to undo. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to undo on this one. So this one I changed. Remember, I did transpose. So I'm going to undo. And that's right there until this key signature changes back. And kaplawi. Now I'm back in C major, okay, key of C. I want to make this a minor song. Well, how do I do that? So in this case, I'm going to change the key. I'm going to select all, change key signature. Now here's all the choices, all the different types of keys that are available. Notice down here it says mode major. There's lots of cool modes out there. We're just going to go with minor. And I want C minor. Notice C minor has 3 flats. Very interesting. Go back to major real quick. E flat, they have the same key signature. They look the same, but they sound completely different. So here is C minor. Now watch what happens. All these accidentals showed up again. The quick way to take care of that, unless you want specific accidentals in your song, the way to do that is to go up in the pitch menu with everything selected. I'm going to click the natural symbol, and it's also the equal sign on the keyboard, by the way. And I'm going to hit the natural symbol. Everything is natural. And then I'm going to click it again. Nothing is natural. Now, every note here is in the key signature. That E is flat. It was not earlier. Let's see what my melody sounds like in a minor key. A lot darker. More mysterious. Okay, a little bit more haunting, a little bit more questioning. So if that's the mood that you're going for, you can do the minor version. So remember, how did I do that? Minor, I'm going to select everything. If I want my song to sound in a minor key, okay, haunting and dark, I'm going to go up to this change key signature button. I'm going to make sure I select minor and change to C minor, because my starting note is still C, okay? If I changed it to E minor, my starting note is still C, but it changes all this, so I don't want to do that. Undo. Okay, so change it to C minor. If I want to do it as a major key, okay, major key is when I'm going to go to this transpose button and transpose it up a minor third. Click 3, choose minor third, and your key signature will change, but your starting note changes too. So this is E flat major. Let's go back to C minor. Okay, here we go. So with this C minor song, and I'm going to everything selected, hit natural, hit it again, you're good to go. Now I kind of like my bass clef part that I put in here, so I'm actually going to copy both of those. If you are copying both of these in here and you want to put it into your friendly duet, you can't just select one measure and try to copy. It's going to give you an error message. Okay, selection is only one staff. So I'm going to hit Shift, click down both stabs here, and paste. And it'll paste over the previous song. Now, this is the minor version. Let's see what this sounds like. Okay, all right, very good. So that's my section 1. What we need to do is do that a second time for section 2, and then a third time for section 3. Now, do you notice the chords in section 2 look different? Okay, I changed them up an octave for those 8 measures. So it's always good to change something. If I just want to do, I'm going to edit mode, of course. If I just want to do this, select my melody, copy it, paste it in again. I can transpose it up if I want, an octave. Okay, and I've got that altered. Now it's just the same thing over and over again, which is fine. If you want to edit individual notes to where it sounds good with these chords, go for it. I actually went in and I went the advanced version on the week 4 thing. I went for an altered version of the song. Now, since I have this within here, I've already got the key changed, and I've got 2 little things here. So I'm going to copy both of those over. Let's see what we got here. Copy. And again, I've got to select both stabs, edit mode, paste. All right, and that's right there. Let's see what we got. We're coming out of this. All right, so that was my section 2. Now you can do whatever you want with that. It copied over some of the text as well. I'm just going to delete some of that, no big deal. That can stay in if you want. All right, if you added dynamics in there, those should copy over as well. So there's lots of really cool things you can do. So far I've got section 1, 2, I need to get section 3. Section 3 is in G minor. Okay, it's still part of this key. Okay, G minor is a chord that's found in this key. F major is not very often found. It's an altered chord, but it's kind of cool sounding in this section. Let's take a listen to this section for a second. Okay, and I like that because it goes minor, then this major chord that leads to this E flat. That's a triumphant. This is a very triumphant chord the way it's built. And then we move back into B flat, which is kind of another happy chord that leads us right back to a final C minor reflective. Okay, so however you want to think of that, it's like a story, whatever. This is a good opportunity to add in stuff from the little fugue. Okay, so you can pick how many ever measures you want in here. This is more than 8 measures. Okay, the song is 12, almost 13 measures, right? So you can pick pieces of this to copy in there. I'm going to just do, for me, I like measure 3, and let's see how many measures do I have. Got 8, 4, 5. Okay, I don't want that trill in there. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Let's just do 4. Oh, what did we notice though? Our key signature, only 2 flats. Now, I could technically put this in. This is G. This is the key of G minor or B flat major right here. That's what this is in. Okay, it's in G minor. Let's see if this fits. 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna do 4 measures up to there. Now you can click individual spots and click up to that note, up to that D. Okay, let's copy. And let's see, friendly duet. I'm gonna mix that in right there. I have no idea what this is gonna sound like. Let's find out. G minor. Okay, that's kind of cool. Let's see, I'm gonna take that little note right there. Let's extend it so it's a half note. Now, the little fugue is actually known for being a little bit of a round. Okay, a round being where the song starts again on a second part. So with this other bass line, I'm just gonna be creative with this and add some stuff. You can do whatever you want with this, okay? And that's way too high, transpose down by an octave. And kaplow. Okay, and then I'm gonna start it again. Right there. That gets to the rest of our 4 measures. That's way too low because I copied from the bass clef part. Let's open it octave again. And then we're just going to copy those first 2. Let's do that. I'm just being creative here, guys. You can do it however you wish. Turn that into a half note as well. Let's see, that's a D against a B flat. That's fine. B flat's in the chord. Half note. Nope, don't want to do that. Okay, good. Let's see how this layers together. And then we get to our final chord. Okay, so and here at this point, if you want to add some more notes in here, you can, but I'm going to call that good. I'm going to make sure that I stop, I hit save. Okay, I'm also going to make sure I've got my name in here. And I'm going to save. Okay, your score details, if you want to change the name of this, you are welcome to, however you want to do that. But this is what I've got. So at this point, you're going to save your file. We're in step 4 here. Save your file and copy the URL. Okay, copy and paste that into your worksheet for week 6. We're not done yet. That's the first thing I want you to copy in. Next, we want to get this into Soundtrap because that's really what this is about, right? So I'm going to make sure my Soundtrap is open. I've got my make my own beat pre-built. Okay. Now, it doesn't matter what the tempo or key this says. What we're going to do is we're going to download this file as something called a MIDI file. So in your score menu, okay, you've got this little export button. Okay, let me make sure I save it again. Just make sure. Export. There's all these other things. I'm going to export this. Now, look at all these choices. I could save it as a music XML score, which is something that's used in like professional music editors. Open in Soundtrap will take you directly there, but that's not what we want to do because that's just going to open a whole new song. I want to get this into my making my own beats. So if I were to save it as an MP3, it would just save it as an audio file, and I could do that. That would work. The problem is I wouldn't be able to edit anything in the song anymore. It would be as if it was a recording I made with my voice. Sort of WAV and MP3 files. Audio files are just direct audio. You can't edit individual notes. You can only do larger things. I want to be able to edit individual things. So I'm going to go to MIDI file. MIDI file is an electronic music file type. And what I want to do is import this into that. So I'm going to click this right here, MIDI, continue. It's going to download it to my computer, okay, to my desktop, to wherever things say when I download. From the Duet right there. Now I'm going to go here. I am now in Soundtrap. I'm now in my drum loop. On the Add New Track place, click that. One of the choices should be to import file. Okay, I'm going to import a file. It's going to choose a file. Now here's the one I just did. Okay, it's in my downloads file. The one I just did. I'm going to import that in. And notice it actually imports everything as separate tracks. So here is my treble clef melody. Here's my bass clef melody. Here's the piano chords, treble and bass clef, that are pre-built. here. Okay, 4 staves, 4 tracks, right? Okay, so right now I'm at 120, and let's see, what key is this in again? What did I decide to do? So I'm in the minor, didn't I? I did C minor, so this is C. Whatever the starting note is, that's your key signature, by the way. So I'm going to go in here and just make sure this is selected, C minor. My tempo is 120. You can change that later. What's cool is as you shift these items later on, it can shift all these notes here, because I can go in to my grand piano treble clef staff and I can edit the notes. I can see my first note. Here's all the notes that I had. I can click and drag this around and change the first note. I don't want to do that right now because I like the way it is. All right, let's see what I've got. Metronome, let's keep it off for now. I've got a drum loop to do that, and go. So it's pretty cool. So that's that B section right there, right? That's that verse 2, section 2. And then the C section starts here, the third section of the song, where I added in the fugue from Bach with its different layers. You can kind of see the note moving around. Okay, so it's kind of cool. Let's finish out the sound and see how this little finale finishes. All right, I like it. So what I'll do here is I'm going to save this. Let's go with C minor fugue. Bach. Bach Griefs. There's lots you can do in here, guys. Okay, if you didn't like some part of your song and how it blended, again, you can go in and edit the notes. Like if there's a part in here, the way that the fugue kind of lined up, I didn't really like the way that sounded. So I might go back and fix that in here. Okay, edit notes. But that's a little challenging to find where it is. You can do it, but I might just go back into this where I can see the notes and shift them around as necessary. Okay, so and then I would go back and export it again. So there's lots of ways to do that, but I hope that's gives you an idea of what to do. So what's the rest part of the assignment here? So you just did Soundtrap, you created your own beats, you added it in, okay? And then what I want you to do, the last thing on this, so that I can hear it, is I want you to invite me. My username on Soundtrap is right there, j.hargreaves3. It's automatically assigned. Add me as a collaborator. Okay, so you do that right here, this little light blue button. You can invite me, and you can just start typing Hargreaves, and I will show up on there. I've checked it. And choose me so I can actually get a chance to hear your song. And then last step, download it as MP3 or WAV file in Soundtrap. How do you do that? That little button right there. Download. And it just downloads as a WAV file. You can also go here to File. You can export it as an MP3. Okay, and you've got it there. And then I just want you to attach this. So save that in your drive, attach to your worksheet, and so then you've got your song. All right, that is our stuff for week 6. It's a lot, guys, and it's a long video, I know. Thank you for staying with it. But I think this is a neat little project for us to finish up the year. If you have any questions or any issues, let me know. But other than that, keep writing music, keep making music, and I hope you guys are doing good. I'll see you again soon.